Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you are new, welcome to my channel. My name's Alexa, and in today's video I will be doing something that I haven't done in months, which is a book haul on YouTube, because I've done some on TikTok, but I thought that since it's been a while, the last one I posted was in January, I thought I would make one video about every single book I've gotten since the month of, I think it's end of January, start of February. I can't remember when I posted it, but I remember filming it on February, I think it was maybe January 21st or something like that. I haven't filmed one in a good while. And since then, I have purchased 54 books. So yes, the title of this video is the book haul of 50 plus books, but don't go thinking this was all in one shot. This was over literally 5 months. So it's been a while. I've accumulated these over a long time, but 11 of those, I think, maybe a bit more, have been purchased since I started my book buying ban literally a month ago. Well, actually it's probably gonna be something like 13, but there's 2 of those that were planned purchases, so I don't count those as in breaking the book buying ban, but I definitely have bought a decent amount of books since then. And now I'm not going to go in chronological order of when I bought them, because that would be crazy. I'd have to go through my shelves and then individually. I'm just going to go by hauling shelf by shelf. So it's mostly going to be by genre. But yeah, so then I'm going to tell, instead of doing oh, well, I bought these on this date at this bookstore, I'm just going to show you the book or the series and then tell you where I got the books. But yeah, let's get started. So first we have Kiss of the Basilisk by Lindsay Straub. This one is a very recent addition to my physical TBR, my collection. I bought it last week when I was in New York. I got this one at the big Barnes & Noble, the Union Square one, because I wanted to. And this was when I officially broke the book buying ban that day. But it's fine. Technically re-broke it because there's one instance where I did break it again, but it's when I first broke the book buying ban, but I was going through it. There was some stuff going on in the family, and I rarely buy stuff for dopamine and rarely do retail therapy, but that day I was I really need this. So I went to the bookstore and I bought multiple books. But yeah, this was one of them. Then we have Alive and Wells by Bailey Hanna. This one is one of the most recent additions to my TBR. I bought it on Monday, 4 days ago. I was at Renaud-Bré, which is a bookstore here in Quebec, and I bought 4 books in total, and this was one of them. Honestly, I've just been hearing great things about it. The cover I love, honestly. It almost looks painted. I think it actually might be painting, I don't know. And it is a cowboy romance. I love a good cowboy romance, and the author's Canadian as well. So then we have Wild Side by Elsie Silver. This one I purchased back in March at Barnes & Noble. You guys know how I love everything Elsie Silver writes, and especially this series. This one is probably one of my top 2 or 3 Elsie Silver books, and I just loved it so much, but I had to buy it. I thought originally, but I bought it at Barnes & Noble along with 2 other books you guys are gonna see later. But yeah, then we have This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan. This one I got at Books A Million. I know this is the second one in the series. I don't have the first one Before I Let Go, but I do have it on my Kindle right now that I borrowed from Kindle Unlimited. So I will be reading the first one and then reading this one. Actually, this is a pretty long book. This is it's 400 pages, but this looked a lot longer than 400 pages. But yeah, I'm really excited to read it, and I read some of the other Kennedy Ryan books that she's published. I read the first 2 in the Hoops series, and I know that those are kind of traumatizing, but I know that these ones, the sadder parts deal more in the relationships than in their personal lives. I think that's what Sarah Caroli said on her channel, so I'm just really excited to read it, and yeah, just looks really good, and the cover is absolutely gorgeous, and I got this one for $5. Then we have the entire Campus Diaries series. These 2 I got at Books A Million in March. This one I got at Renaud-Bré on Monday because I needed to complete the series, of course. I'm not there yet right now. I'm missing 1 book to actually get to this series, because you need to read the deals, the off-campus series, then the Briar U series to get to the Campus Diaries. But I only have 1 book missing, 1 book left to read in the Briar U series to get to this series, and I'm actually so excited, especially for this one, because I've heard really, and I mean this one as well, because I've seen some scenes of it on TikTok. Well, actually, you guys know that I'm excited for each one of these books, but I'm just honestly, I love hockey romances, and these are like really long hockey romances. I think these are like 500 pages. This one is 500 pages, and then the Charlie Method is 530 pages. So these are really long books, and I'm actually making my way through Elle Kennedy's backlist. I don't know, like everything that she's written, because I'm almost done with the Briar Youth series. I read the entire like Good Girl Complex series, the summer series, and then the next one is another Elle Kennedy series. This book I got also at Books A Million, and it is Misfit by Elle Kennedy. This one I got in May at a Books A Million in Charleston. I will say Books A Million, if you go, I think they probably changed, like I mostly buy, by the way, books in the bargain section at Books A Million, because it is basically if Book Outlet was a store, but like, and the books are like $4 or $5, but I think they like the books change maybe every couple months, but probably more than every 2 months, because I went in March and then I went in May, and some of the books had changed, but most of the books were similar. But yeah, I got this one. It's the Sandover Prep series. I don't know much about it, but hey, I've loved every other series that I've read by Elle Kennedy. So then we have Lights Out. This one I bought at Target. I can't remember exactly when I bought it, but I think it's been a while. I think it was maybe back in March. I don't know. But this one, you guys know I loved the series. I love the second one. I listened to it recently, and you guys know I've read this one multiple times, so it was just right to have a physical copy. I don't know why it's so tall. Like, it's such a tall book. I don't know how to explain it, but like, well, actually, I think it's the same height as the next book, but like, I don't know why they're making so many tall books now. I don't know. And lastly, from this shelf in my book collection, I guess book collection, book haul, I don't know, we have Till Summer Do Us Part by Megan Quinn. This is also a very, very recent addition to my TBR. This one I bought on Monday as well. This is one of the 4 books I got last. I think the other book is right behind me, but yeah, I really am excited to read this book. The premise seems so good. I mean, duh, I bought it, but I also bought it for the gorgeous sprayed edges. I'm not the biggest fan of sprayed edges when it's just like they're sprayed edges just to have sprayed edges and it's like one solid color. Like that I'm like, okay, but I would never buy a book specifically for that. But for these, like the details, the fish, I'm obsessed. And I was with my cousin when I was there, and we were both like, this is a gorgeous book. And yeah, also the cover is gorgeous, and I love a summer romance, and I'm going on a summer vacation at some point this summer, so I'll read it then. But yeah, that was it for this shelf. I'll be back with more books because I need to go pick them up for my shelf. All right, I am back with an even bigger pile this time. It is from the shelf right behind me. The first shelf was more like it started as like a romance series I love, and then as this one, which is my mostly standalone romance or romance books that I only have one book in the series shelf, kind of had to spill over onto the second shelf. So now both shelves are kind of mostly series in the bottom, but also some contemporary, and I actually need to reorganize some of my shelves soon because I have a lot more books than when I last organized them. So yeah, first we have a book that I got at Books A Million. I'm also currently halfway through, well no, more than halfway through. I really need to finish this at one point, but we have Readers of the Lost Heart. This one, yeah, is a Books A Million book. I think I got it for $3, and Ali Hazelwood wrote a little blurb on it, and the cover is just gorgeous, and like the premise sounded great. Like, rival archaeologists must team up on a secret Aztec expedition, or it could leave their career and hearts in ruins. Like, it sounds great. I'm not loving it as much as I thought I would, but I mean, it's still a good book. Another Books A Million book, Luck and Last Resorts by Sarah Grunder Ruiz. This one I'm really hoping to read this summer because it's really a summer vibe. The cover is cute. I know it's the second book in a standalone series, but sometimes if the second one sounds really good and the first one, like, I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe, or like not really interested. If it's not in the standalone, if it's not interconnected standalone in the same way as like the Windy City series, or like, I don't know, any of the Elsie Silver books, then I don't like, I'll read just the second one and then forget about the series, like the rest of the series. But I'm really excited to get to this one. This is another recent edition. I got it last Wednesday when I went to the Big Barns, and it is Not Safe for Work by Nisha J. Tooley, the author of the Trial of the Sun Queen Sun King? Sun Queen. Series, I actually need to read that series. It's a fantasy series, but I think it might be her first romance novel, like yeah, I think it is definitely her romance debut. Look at the inside, like gorgeous. And actually the only reason why I picked this one up, I had barely read the back, but I saw the cover and one of my friends recommended to me because I read her review on Bookstagram and I was like, oh my god, I totally need to read that book. And it sounded so good, and like I said, once again, I'm in love with the man on the cover. He's gorgeous, so I know I'm gonna love it. Next we have Ready or Not by Cara Bastone. This one I got at the big Barnes & Noble, and I read it the day after I got it and ended up rating it 5 stars. It was honestly a life-changing book. Definitely one of my top favorite books of all time. It was so good. I think about it every day. So much that Monday when I was at Grenoble, the last book I picked up was Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Bastone? I don't know. Which is her second book. This one I think was her debut book. This one is the second one she wrote and was released earlier this year. Not later this year, no. It was released earlier this year. I think this one was released last year. This one is Surprise Pregnancy. This one I don't know. I can't tell what it's really about because I can't remember and I don't feel like reading the full back. But I know that I loved this one and people who loved this one loved this one. So I just immediately added it to my haul, I guess. After that we have Cold World, Where Are You? A Books A Million pick. This one I already read. It was pretty good actually. And I bought it in Orlando and it takes place in Orlando, so I thought this is perfect. But yeah, it was a really cute book and I'm very happy I bought it. This is another Books A Million pick from that same day. The Breakup Tour. This one is another one that I read it right after Wild Side, because I like on the way back from Florida I read Cold World, Where Are You? After that I read Wild Side, and after that I read The Breakup Tour. This one is kind of loosely Taylor Swift inspired. It was a cute book. Once again, bargain section. Love the bargain section. Sorry, I just realized that a book that is here should not be here and I took the wrong book from here. Speaking about Books A Million, this is one that I actually bought last month at Books A Million. By Carrie and Cole. I think this is an age gap romance. No idea. But it was $5 and it looked good. Maybe not a book that I would have bought if it was full price. Like if it was the full $24 Canadian, I would not have purchased this probably. But given that it was $4 and actually cost me less than that, I was like, this seems like the type of book I would randomly pick up on Kindle Unlimited. I'll read it, and actually I want to read this soon. Another Books A Million pick. This one I got back in March. Business or Pleasure by Rachel Lynn Solomon. You guys know I loved Today, Tonight, Tomorrow. And what's the other one? See You Yesterday by the same author. I haven't read any of her adult books, but I really want to read this one. I remember when it came out actually, and I'm obsessed with the cover. And I mean, like, a ghost writer and a struggling actor help each other on the page and in the bedroom in this steamy romantic comedy. Like, this sounds perfect. Seems fun. But yeah, these next 2 books I'm putting together, not because they're by the same author, but this is because I bought them at the same time. And it is First Time Caller by B.K. Borson and Beg, Borrow, or Steal by Sarah Adams. These are 2 of my favorite books of the year. I bought this one a week after these 2 I bought a week after I finished this one, a month and a half after I finished this one, and I needed to own them. I loved them so much that I was like, I need to have this book, I need to own it, I need to have them on my shelves and revisit them whenever I can. And also, fun fact, the cover artist of this book is from Montreal and I'm from Montreal, so we're basically twins. And this one is is the main character in this one. The female main character is a character that I relate to on a deep level. After that we have Camera Shy by Kate Cove. This is a book that I got at a romance only bookstore in Charleston, South Carolina, and I already read it actually. It's so good. I'm so glad I read it. For a second I thought this was an independently published book, but I think it's published by Page and Vine. I think that's a publishing house, but I will check. Yes, it's a smaller publishing house, but I like to to buy books from like smaller authors, I guess, or like not like published by a big 5 publisher whenever I go to like a independent romance bookstore, because it's where I can find those most often. But I found out after that, like a couple of weeks later, that actually they sell these at Barnes & Noble, which is crazy. But not crazy because I'm like, oh my god, they should not sell these at Barnes & Noble, but crazy because I didn't know that I could have found it there. This is another Books A Million find, and it is Never by Jessa Hastings. I think it's a standalone, I'm not sure. It's really tall, actually. It's like one of my tallest books. Same height as this one. Like, it's a very tall book. Like, look at my hand compared to the book. I look tiny, actually. Like, I look like I have a tiny head. This is a long book, I think. No, it's actually 367 pages, but I think it's loosely or very much based on Peter Pan. Don't know much about it, but I know that a Jessa Hastings book usually makes me feel a lot of emotions, and sometimes you just need to read a book that's gonna make you feel. And lastly, from this shelf, we have Den of Vipers by K.A. Knight. This one has been on my radar for years. Actually, it's not that, well, it's not that long. It's 500 pages, but it has, honestly, the amount of words of a book that would be 800 pages, probably, because, like, I don't know, I'm gonna take a random page at the start. Like, it's actually, the words are so tiny. Like, to quote Yona, that one book influencer that I honestly love, because she's also misunderstood, but why are there so many words on this page? Like, I know I said she's misunderstood, and she is misunderstood because she was talking about the formatting of the page. She was talking about how small the writing was, not about why are there so many words in a book. She meant in that page. Like, they are very crammed together. Okay, sorry, I will fight for her. But yeah, that's it for this shelf. I will probably go on my other bookshelf and combine some of the shelves, I guess. But yeah, I will be back in a second. Okay, now on to, I guess, a more author specific shelf. Well, I have one shelf where it is mostly books of one author, and then another shelf that only had newer books of this other author. So first we have books 2 through 5 of the Kings of Sin series by Ana Huang. So King of Pride, King of Greed, King of Sloth, King of Envy. And other than King of Sloth, these were all bought back in May, I think, yeah. And then King of Sloth was bought back in, when was it bought? Back in March. And I mean, you might be like, oh, Alexa, why did you buy them all at different timings? It's because the one I bought back in March found at Books A Million. So I found it for cheap. The other ones I bought for full price. So I mean, I am broke. I am broke now, especially. But what I don't like is how there's a little printing error on the side of King of Envy, but it's fine. But yeah, I got all of these books recently, and I'm so happy to finally own every single book that Ana Huang wrote. Talking about Ana Huang, I bought this striker as well, full price. This one is the first one in her new sports romance series. I think her new thing is she's writing 2 series at once, this one and Kings of Sin, and she's releasing one of this one every year and one of Kings of Sin, so 2 books every year. This one came out back in October, and the next one's coming out in, this one came out, end of October, and then the other one is coming out start of October, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, these are all books that mostly books that I've read so far. Like, these 2 series were all books that I read. It's just I didn't own them, and Ana Huang is one of my favorite authors, so I was like, I need to own them. And then talking about Ana Huang, we have the If Love series. This one I bought on Facebook Marketplace for $40. 4 books for $40, not too bad, back in February. And these were like brand new. Like, I don't think the person I bought it from ever opened them, because I heard like the crack of the sprayed edge when I opened the book, like the separation of the pages, as if it was like really fresh. So yeah, I'm also currently halfway through this one, and yes, I did buy them in the start of February, and no, I haven't started them yet other than this one right now, so we don't talk about it. Actually, this one I started like 4 different times. I started it once in 2023, but I wasn't in the mood, and then I started it twice in the past year over audiobook. But once again, started another book. Like, there was always a new release coming out, but then I'm finally like most of the way through the first one. And then the next author that we have, it's books 1, 4, and 5 of the series, because I found 2 and 3 at a thrift store back in January, I think. No, it was December, really, like end of December, I think December 27th or 26th, but still. But yeah, these books are books that are very near and dear to me, to my heart, and by an author that I love, absolutely love, and it is the Mile High series. I bought Caught Up and and the right move back in, yeah, like I said, December. Found the indie versions at a independent bookstore, and then these two, I found the indie versions at Indigo back in March. I was like, I need to get the indie versions while they're still out there and I can still purchase them. And then this one is technically not indie published. This one is traditionally published, but it was a one run print of the books that looked like the indie version, and it is rewinded back. This is when I first officially broke the book buying ban, because I was like, this is the only time I'm ever going to be able to buy this one, and I'm going to take my opportunity to buy it, take my chance to buy it now, because or else I'm probably going to buy it at some point again, but for double or triple the price on Facebook Marketplace or wherever people buy books that are like out of print. So I was like, I need to buy it now because I want to save money, you know, girl math. But yeah, that's that. And then I'm gonna go now on to, I'm gonna finish romance, and then I'm gonna do YA romance, then fantasy. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. Sorry, talking to myself. All right, now on to the probably last book haul clip of this video. I basically put a bunch of shelves together and emptied them, I guess, of the books that I've purchased recently, so I don't have to get up. Anyways, you guys don't need to know this. And not like I don't want to tell you guys, but just it doesn't matter to the video, you know? All right, next we have two Books A Million purchases. These were like $3 each, and it is What Happens After Midnight and Maybe Meant to Be by Kel Walther. By this author I read, is it Summer of Broken Rules? Summer of something and something. Or Summer of, I think it's the Summer of Broken Rules. Let me look it up on Goodreads. The Summer of Broken Rules, yeah. It's YA, and I honestly really vibe with it. So then I purchased these two because these were $3 each, and I was like, if it's $3, I'm gonna take it. Because why would I not take books by an author that I really liked when it's literally $3? But yeah, I'm really excited to get to these. And I know they don't necessarily take place in the summer, but the other one took place in the summer, so I'm probably gonna read these this summer. I really am repeating myself. After this, no. Why do I speak with the almost Irish accent sometimes? I don't know. After this, we have a book that fully broke me, had me crying for 3 hours straight. And that is Releasing 10 by Chloe Walsh. I can't talk about this book for too long without sobbing. I might talk about it in because I read it in May. Honestly, I don't think I'm ever gonna post a review of this book. I technically rated it on Goodreads so that people know that I enjoyed the book. Like, I didn't not like the book, so that's why I rated it. But it's not an official rating, it's just a FYI. I'm not a hater of this book. But it feels wrong to review it ever. I'm not even gonna rank it in anything. It's such a dark book. I'm gonna leave it there. Definitely read trigger warnings on the website before reading this book, because it's definitely not for everyone. After that, we have, on a lighter note, You Had Me at Ola by Alexis Daria. This one I bought at a bookstore, used bookstore called Book Off in New York. And I really want to read it, and it looks like a perfect summer romance, and I know that there's actually a couple of books in this series now, so I really wanted to get to it. And I saw that Ali Hazelwood is at the scene of the crime every time when I buy a book. Not that I'm not saying that scene of the crime as in literally, I mean every time I buy a romance book, not every time, but a lot of the time, it's because either Ali Hazelwood has a blurb on it, or I see that the Ali Hazelwood does an event with the author, or just she's somewhere at the scene of the crime. Basically, yeah, I saw that she was doing an event with this author, and I added it to my list of books that I wanted to buy, and then I bought it for $5. Then we have Grayson's Vow by Mia Sheridan. This is in the same series as Finding. No, not Finding. Is it? Where is it? Oh my god, why am I blanking on the name of the book? Archer's Voice. Which, even though I couldn't remember the name of the book, is a book that I've loved for years now. I read it back in 2022 or 2021. No, 2022, and just absolutely loved it. And now I have another book in the series. No idea which book in the series this is actually, because no idea. And honestly, don't even need to know. I just saw that this was by this author, and it was not expensive at Books A Million, so I needed to pick it up. By the way, I lose all self-control or shelf control when I enter Books A Million. So yeah, if anyone ever wants like if Books A Million ever wants to do a collab with a Canadian book content creator, or if they ever want to open a Canadian bookstore, I'm here. I'm their biggest fan. If Books A Million has no fans, I'm dead. After that, we have two other books that I bought at Books A Million, and it is Pretend You're Mine, Finally Mine. These two I already read. It's by Lucy Score. It's her Benevolence series. I actually need to read the last book in this series, but it's pretty good. I didn't love it as much as her Knockmount series, but I still found it pretty good. There was a 4-star and a 4.25 star read in this series, so yeah. I know this one's a little bit damaged, which kind of sucks, but hey, you win some, you lose some. Like when I'm paying $4 for a book, I'm not expecting it to be in a like perfect condition. By the way, literally cleaning up after this video will be the death of me. After that, we have two new releases that came out by my favorite author, who I earlier said was at the scene of every crime when it comes to me book buying. And you guys can already guess who I'm talking about, and you guys already know which books I'm talking about probably if you have taste, I don't know. And it is Problematic Summer Romance and Deep End by Ali Hazelwood, which happen to be my two top Ali Hazelwood books ever. This one is actually literally my favorite book of all time. For the first time in my life, I actually have an answer if someone asks me what my favorite book is. I just love this book so much. I could go on and on. Like out of all, I think I've probably read over 800 books in my entire life. Okay, I'm 20 now. And out of all of those books, this one is my favorite one. I don't care if people hated it. It's okay. You're allowed to hate a book, but I love this one. And this one actually ended up being my second favorite Ali Hazelwood book. The next one after that, my third favorite, is Love Theoretically. I'm gonna post a tier ranking on TikTok, which should already be out by the time that you're watching this video. But this one is so good as well. I'll talk about this one in my June wrap up, even though I read it in May, because I just want to talk about this book, and I'm allowed to. A girl's allowed to talk about this book. Yeah, duh. I actually have free will, but yeah, no, I loved this one. Also, crazy thing that Mount Etna, which is a volcano that, actually no, I can't say anything without spoiling. Ignore everything I ever said. Well, no, maybe not everything I ever said. Let's calm down here. Now on to the fantasy section of this video. This is the last section of this video. I have about 15-ish, maybe a bit less than that, books in this section out of all like 55. Yeah, I went crazy with the rom-coms, because about 2 years ago, it was like, oh, actually I have mostly fantasy books. I want to buy more romance. Well, girl, you got your wish, because now I mostly own romance. Well, maybe not mostly. Probably mostly own fantasy still to this day, but I own a lot of romance. All right, next we have two books that I bought. Well, yeah, two books that I bought. This is a book haul. I was gonna say two books that I bought at Books A Million, but then that would have been a lie. One I bought at Goodwill, one I bought at Books A Million, and these are Legends and Lattes and Bookshops and Bone Dust. I really need to read these because these are, I think, cozy fantasies. I think that's what the author, well, like that's the classification of the book, and I think they're based off of, it's kind of Dungeons and Dragons, but not officially. But I don't know if you guys know, but I'm a huge nerd, and I was actually in high school a part of the Dungeons and Dragons club. I was that big of a nerd. But yeah, I was a part of the Dungeons and Dragons club, and I have a couple of set of dices, and my brother and I actually have like the handbook and all that. So I feel the need to read these two books. I think even though this one is technically a prequel, you read this one first and then this one, pretty sure, because I think if you read this one first, it'll spoil major things for this one. After that, we have another book from Books A Million. This book is the 7th in a series. I've only read 3 in so far, but sometimes if I see a Bloom book, no, most of the time, if I see a Bloom book in a Books A Million section, I'm picking it up now, because especially if it's like $4, because or else that $4 USD is max $6 Canadian, I think. But if I bought it at home in Canadian pricing, that would be $27, $28. I'm saving over $20 when I'm buying these books, so I pick them up immediately if it's a book that I think that I'm going to read at some point. So this one is Touch of Chaos by Scarlett Sinclair. Sinclair. This is a part of the Hades Persephone series, which is, you could technically read only like a touch of blank, if you wanted to read it in only Persephone's point of view, but you can do like, I think it's like a Touch of Darkness, Game of Chaos, or a game of malice, like you switch between, you read the book in Persephone's point of view, then you switch to Hades and then Persephone and then Hades and Persephone, Hades, Persephone. So this one is the 7th book and I've only read 3 so far. The next one I need to read is a Hades book actually, but yeah. After that we have Heavenly Bodies by Amani Eriu. I'm already 50%, no, not 50%, 50 pages in, but I'm probably gonna reread it, like restart it when I'm gonna read it, because I went in thinking that the guy that I thought who was gonna be the love interest is actually the villain, and the guy who I was like, okay, I need to hate this man apparently, like why is he nice right now, I think I need to hate this man, is actually the love interest. Well, no, he's actually kind of mean, but like I hated him with a passion, but he's actually a love interest. So I think I need to go in with a more blank mindset, like unbiased mindset, not blank. I need to go in with no thoughts in my head, you know? But yeah, I really need to restart this one. I don't remember much that happened in this one so far because I was sick when I read it. So when I'm sick, there's no thoughts up here. So actually I did go in with no thoughts. After that we have a book that I bought at Books A Million, but full priced. Well, other than the members discount that I have, but it is The Hurricane Wars by Thea Guanzon. This one is the first one in this series, and I know it is based off of I'm pretty sure at least it's based off of a Raylo fanfiction. And I currently have the second one on Libby, so I need to read the first one soon. But look at this sprayed edge. Look at this. It is gorgeous. I love it. And I'm 90% sure that this one is a like I know the author is Filipina, I think. But I don't know if this is a Filipino mythology fantasy, you know? But I'm pretty sure it is. But the cover is just absolutely gorgeous. And I think there's dragons in this book. I might be wrong, but I think there's dragons somewhere. After that we have Trials of Dusk and Dreams. I thought it was Dusk and Dawns. Okay, this makes a lot more sense actually. By Lana Pechurzik. I don't know how to pronounce this last name, but this is the last name. This is actually the second in a series that I don't own the first one of, and then I turns out I couldn't exchange it after I bought the second one without even knowing, and I paid like $30 for this one. Fine. Maybe not 30, but still close to that. Maybe 25 USD, but I paid like 30 something dollars Canadian for this one. But I have the first one on Kindle Unlimited and I'm really vibing with it. I just need to finish it, but I'm really excited for this one. It is an indie published book and it's just, the cover is gorgeous. Almost put it back in the pile. Wow, Alexa. Next up we have 5 different books in the Plated Prisoner series in different covers. I already owned Goldfinch before that, but then I went to The Strand last week, and well, a week and a half ago, and I found the indie editions of Guild and Glint in for like used for $10 each. And I know technically like the spines are broken and stuff like that, but I will never get a price like this for these books except if I find them in a thrift store. Like no one would ever sell them used for $10 if it's not like a secondhand bookstore, because it's just, these are out of print. They cannot be found, and you guys know that this is my favorite fantasy series of all time. I would die for these characters. I love this series so much, so I had to get them, even though I was like, this is actually the 2 books that broke my book buying ban the second time, like the day that I went to the Big Barnes and then the Strand. Well, I actually went to the Strand first, and these are the 2 books that I bought, and then I was like, let's buy 3 more books at Barnes & Noble. It's fine. It's fine. And then we have the Sprayed Edges special edition of Glint with the gorgeous under the dust jacket thing. I know what you're thinking, Alexa, you literally have 2 and at some point have 3 editions of the same book. This one was 60% off. I did not pay full price for it. Yes, I'm broke, but I'm not dumb. Like, no, yes, I'm dumb, but I'm broke. So I need to, like, I saw it and it was 60% off. I couldn't not buy it. I ended up paying less than $10 for this book, so I needed it. And then we have also 2 editions of Glow by Raven Kennedy, the standard Bloom edition that we know and love, art published girly. We know her, we love her, she's iconic. And then we have the even more iconic queen, which is the special hardcover edition. These aren't necessarily special editions that are like, this is a one print run of it, like for example like Illuma Crate, or like whatever. All of these special edition boxes, these are more the author with Bloom made special edition hardcovers that are more expensive, that you can find at most places. But yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. I'm obsessed with the little under the dust jacket action. I mean, it would be even better if it wasn't like printed on it, but it's still absolutely gorgeous. And like just chapter headings, there's more art inside. It's just gorgeous. And I knew I was gonna buy them at some point. So I was like, instead of breaking the bank when I buy them, let's not break the bank and buy them at 60% off. Okay, wait, my books are about to fall. After that, we have the Book of Azrael by Amber V. Nicole. This is the first book in the Gods and Monsters series, and this book is actually one of the heaviest books I own. Heavier than a hardcover. This book is actually so heavy. I could if there's an intruder in my house. You see, being a bookworm doesn't mean that you just spend on books for fun. You actually spend money on books for protection, you know? You know when they say the pen is a mightier weapon than the sword? It's because of this. Because books are heavy. They can be thrown. I have an 800, this is probably one of my heaviest. Maybe I have some hardcovers that are heavier than this, but this is actually a pretty heavy book. For sure 4 or 5 maybe pounds. Maybe not 5 pounds actually. For sure at least 2 or 3 pounds. It's heavy. Why did I go on a rant about the weight of a book actually? Didn't need to do that. Now for our last book, which is, if I'm gonna pick a book to go last, it should be this one. It is the only book in this series that I rated 5 stars, which is which is amazing. And actually, I know people hated the second book in the series compared to the first one, but I prefer the second one over the first one. So, you win some, you lose some. In this case, you win some, I guess, because I liked the second one better than a lot of people did. I don't know. But we have Fearless by Lauren Roberts, which was the final book in which we all thought was the final book in the Powerless series, but the author just announced a novella that's coming out in September, which I will be needing to read. Maybe not buying though, because I am on a book buying ban until further notice. You guys are probably not going to see another book haul for at least 7-8 months, hopefully, if I don't go too crazy, because we all know I can go crazy sometimes when it comes to buying books. But yeah, this one is actually a pretty big book. I think it's 600 pages, and I finished it back in May and it was amazing, and you guys should all read the Fearless trilogy. And it's just, yeah, like I said, amazing. Why do I keep saying amazing? I guess it's because it was. But yeah, those were the 54 books that I have bought since the month of March? No, since the month of February. But yeah, I have definitely a book buying problem, so much that I have bought books every single month since the start of the year. Although there's 1 month where I only bought 1 book, okay? Be proud of me. In April, I only bought this book. But then we don't talk about May or March or February or June at this point. We don't talk about those months, but it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. But yeah, I will definitely be going on a book buying ban, like I said. And like I had said a month ago, but this time I actually need to because I don't have money. I have money. I don't have $0 in my bank account, but it's getting low and there's other things that I want to buy and I want my money to last me longer than 3-4 weeks. Because if I keep buying books at this rate, I'm not gonna have much money in a couple of, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. If you want to see any other of my videos, then definitely go watch them. I have some, actually, I have a reading my physical TBR challenge that originally was supposed to be the start of the book buying ban, and I was going to tackle it fully in that series for the next couple of months. But what happened after that was I bought books. So if you want to see me lie about the fact that I want to buy books, lie about the fact that I'm not buying books until September, October, definitely go watch that. It's also entertaining because I read a lot of books, but fair warning, and you can tell by this video as well, I can't stop speaking ever. It's almost as if I have a disease where I must talk 24/7. I cannot stop speaking unless I die, you know? But it's actually not true. I just can't stop speaking because I like speaking. It's fun, I guess. I don't know. I guess I sit in front of a camera and then my brain just goes yappa yappa yappa. But yeah, I will see you guys when I post next time, which will probably be next week. Should be probably next Monday or something. Hopefully a reading vlog, which, by the way, crazy thing, the reading vlog I posted last week was, I think, the first reading vlog in 2 years. I filmed countless reading vlogs, or attempted to film countless reading vlogs, but none of them ever succeeded. The one I posted was literally the first one since June of 2023, pretty sure. Actually, I will check on my phone because it might be 3 years. I will go check on YouTube. That's crazy, but the next one should be a reading vlog or TBR video. I'm unsure. I need to look at my calendar. Okay, so I have Oh, no, it was in June of 2023. I posted a reading vlog where I was like reading 200 pages a day for a week. And in that reading vlog, I quite literally read, I think I read Binding 13, When in Rome, Keeping 13. Yeah, I read all 3 of those books in one vlog. That's crazy. That's actually insane. And then 2 weeks before that I did, I read Keeping 13, not Binding 13. But 2 weeks before that, I had filmed the video where the TBR jar picked my reads. And that week I had read Binding 13, Mile High, The Right Move, and Fourth Wing, which all 4 of those are some of my favorite books of all time. So that's crazy. But yeah, anyways, all that to say, I'm back on my reading vlog game. I hadn't posted some in a while, but I'm back and better than ever. My reading vlogs are much better than the ones before. Because I have better quality, like I'm better at editing, I have a better camera, just more skills in general. But yeah, if you want more of my content that is not long form and you want videos where I shut up, you can go to my Instagram or TikTok because I try to keep my videos under 2 minutes there. So you guys will hear less of me talking, but more of my personality. But yeah, I love you guys. And as always, I will see you guys next time I see you. And if you are also going on a book buying ban, comment down below so that we can keep each other accountable. I love you guys. Bye. Mwah.